G'day, I'm David G. Sheshnag Yoga Center. What on earth is Kundalini? This video is about how hard it is during the transition into the new paradigm as a masculine male, trying to embody some of the traits that are endorsed or encouraged to provide safety and trust in my partner. And ultimately we all want to feel safe, because ultimately we want to survive and have an identity and flourish. I've been in touch with several lads lately to do with sacred sexuality and sacred sensuality. It's been quite confrontational for me, because I shut off from my feelings a long time ago. And in that, I've been subconsciously trying to prove myself in an externalized way through fulfillment of someone else. It's like somewhere in there, I have to grab my whole program and forget that it ever existed in regards to the program around sex, in the programs around self-belonging, in my role in the household, in regards to where I am and the fluctuations that occur emotionally in me. I've listened to some beautiful people lately. Like there's a few people that have been talking to me and they're empowered, but they also say that they're messed up. If they don't do their practice, then the next day they're going to have a crap day. Or they might be seen in this light because they're famous and seen like they've made it, but ultimately they're having their struggles too. So the persistence and regular practice of their own studies and embodiment and awareness allows them to come back to a more centered reality and a more internalized position of responsibility, where they can own the behaviors that they're doing. I found it really hard, because at the core of my being, I'm very sensitive and vulnerable. So the facades are to protect that vulnerability. So for me to be in an experience of intimacy where I'm not innately that person that's always been sensual, I've been sexual instead of sensual. So to come into a sensual experience, it's like reprogramming a lot of periods of neurological patterns that have been downloaded and encouraged in a certain groove. And I don't know the effect of those grooves that I've had on many people in my life, but I know the effect that it's having now. And that effect is that it's creating an experience when I myself see myself as separate, or someone else as separate. Then I go into my head, but I'm in my head most of the time, so I watch. For me to actually feel, there's a question inside my head that says, can I actually feel? I can feel, but can I actually feel in a way that it's connected and then the energy connection is prolonged? There's a part of me that, like a guy said to me yesterday, he said, I do coaching, but I don't do one-on-one sessions, pay per session. I lock them into a 3-month contract, because if you don't do that, then people go to 2 or 3 sessions, but their sub-psyche, their subconscious patterns that have always created familiarity and a comfort zone for them to remain in, if they're trying to consciously repattern those into a more healthy expression of themselves in a more integrated, embodied way, then in that, when they get to a certain point, their subconscious goes, no mate, we're not changing. We're staying exactly where we are. So then after 3 sessions, the person just reverts back, because ultimately I as a person get so comfortable in running the subconscious patterns, the patterns of familiarity. Can I consciously override them? And then can I compare myself to myself and go, well, I want to be more this, I want to be more that, I want to be fuller. So that's implying that somewhere in there I'm less, or I'm more empty. I can be, but what's the point? And I think the point is, because the new paradigm's coming in where there's a unified reality that's becoming common knowledge for the human framework, and that unified reality will banish a lot of things on the planet, because it'll be a more holistic global understanding of life, then the consciousness that's coming through this being at the moment is okay. And in that okayness, can I be like a snowball and build up momentum into fullness by getting little bits of awareness throughout my life and adding it to my self to become more centered and aligned? It's creating a whole lot of confrontation, a lot of pain to do with me wanting to run away, me wanting to go back to my old patterns, because that didn't give me anything, gave me an empty excuse for an existence based on a false paradigm of self-belonging and emptiness through quests of dominance. So I don't want to go back there, but my mind's playing a game to say, okay, go back there, because this ain't working, because the pain ain't worth the growth. That's not right though, because I want to, as a person, consciously align myself with the new paradigm and come into this experience where I can play my part and be able to share the selfless knowledge and encourage other people to grow into a more healthy expression of themselves, where it's less lower chakras or less unhealthy expression of all of the chakras and a more healthy expression of all of them. So aligning ourselves with a healthy expression of reality. Thanks for listening. Share the world. Sheshnag.com. Peace.